Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the zero-code playbook for completely tearing down the traditional startup model and building a highly lucrative one-person AI business. The biggest AI experts in the world are all saying the exact same thing right now. The next wave of billion-dollar companies, they won't have 100 employees. They won't even have 50. They are literally going to have one person sitting at the center, using AI agents to do all the heavy lifting. And today, we're breaking down the exact strategy to make sure that person is you. Okay, so here's our exact step-by-step roadmap. First, the one-person unicorn. Second, finding a painkiller problem. Third, faking it to get paid. Fourth, building your zero-code MVP. And finally, scaling with AI agents. Let's get right into it.
Step 1, the one-person unicorn. Look, we've got to stop throwing bodies at problems and just totally rethink how a business grows. The traditional model is incredibly heavy, right? You have an idea, you hire people, you pay these massive salaries, you manage the inevitable chaos, and for some reason, you measure your success by your headcount. The new AI solo model flips this completely on its head. You start by identifying a specific bottleneck, you find ways to automate it using AI, and as a result, your complexity actually shrinks as your revenue grows. It's a total game changer. And this brings us to your brand new job description. You are no longer the one doing the grunt work. Nope, you're making those high-leverage decisions to design the actual system. Like Elon Musk famously says, you're building the machine that runs the machine. In a one-person AI business, your daily calendar isn't clogged up with managing other people's calendars or, putting out HR fires. It is filled with pure strategy.
Moving right along to step 2, find a painkiller problem.
This is a trap so many founders fall into. You absolutely have to identify painkiller problems, things people are already desperately throwing money at, rather than building vitamin nice-to-haves. Think about it. A vitamin is something a customer thinks is cool, but they can easily live without it. A painkiller? That's an absolute must-have. When Dan Martell started his company Flowtown, he actually nearly failed because he built a marketing vitamin for small businesses who honestly didn't even want to do their own marketing. He fell in love with his product instead of deeply understanding the customer's agonizing pain.
So how do you actually find these painkiller problems? Well, you target rapidly growing industries that are basically in chaos. Markets like real estate, healthcare, or coaching, they're growing super fast, but they are fundamentally disorganized. They desperately need better tools. And here's the best part. You don't even have to do the digging yourself. You can literally go to an AI tool like Manus, feed it your background and your passions, and just ask it to hand you a list of the most painful, lucrative bottlenecks out there waiting to be solved. Now here's a massive, massive cheat code. Call up 10 people in that target industry, but absolutely do not try to sell them anything. Ask for advice instead. If you call someone up and immediately pitch software, they're going to hang up on you. But human nature dictates that if you humbly ask for advice, people love to share their expertise. This gets your foot in the door, lets you map out their exact pain points, and builds a relationship with the exact people who will soon buy your solution. You'll want to keep those 10 names written down for sure.
Which leads us perfectly into step 3, fake it to get paid.
Okay, I love this part. We're going to fix the problem completely by hand first. Think of it like a Wizard of Oz prototype. Behind the curtain, there is no AI, there's no fancy database. It is just you pulling the levers. For example, there's a founder named Matt who started this powerful data platform called Precision. But version 1, it was literally just a spreadsheet. He pulled his clients' data manually, cleaned it up by hand, and handed them a scorecard. He simulated the entire software experience manually, got paid for it, and proved the demand was real before he ever wrote a single line of code. Now, to actually secure those early sales, you'll want to draft a super simple done-for-you offer using a 5-part framework. Then, you call back those first 10 prospects to present it. You start with the problem you identified in your advice calls. You state your promise, that's the transformation they'll get. Give them a timeline, say 30 days. State the price. And finally, offer an ironclad guarantee to completely remove their risk. So it might sound like stop losing customers. We'll clean your database and give you insights in 30 days for $2,500 a month or your money back. Call those 10 people back, present this exact offer, and start solving the problem manually.
All right, step 4, build your zero-code MVP.
Once you're actually getting paid to manually solve this problem using basic spreadsheets and tools, then, and only then, is it time to build your minimum viable product.
And whatever you do, please do not go out and drop 50 grand on a team of engineers to build a full product. People will gladly take your money to build something nobody wants. Instead, literally sketch out the user experience on a napkin. Feed that into incredible AI tools like Visibly, UX Pilot, or Figma, and they will instantly generate screens you can actually click through. Show that to 5 new customers and watch how they interact with it. I guarantee you'll learn more in 5 user interviews than in 5 entire weeks of coding. And as you build this MVP, you have to be absolutely ruthless about keeping it simple. Overcomplicating it is hands down the fastest way to kill your new business. Think about it. Facebook started in just one college, doing just one thing. Amazon started with just books. You are not here to boil the ocean. When early users ask for, customer reports, white labeling, or complex admin dashboards, you smile, you thank them, and you politely ignore them. Unless 80% of your users are begging for it. Keep it hyper-focused. And get this, you can now use tools like Manus AI to generate a fully functional app from just a single, highly focused text prompt. Treat it like a fast, tireless intern. You just type in plain English what you want. Tell it to keep the UI clean with basic styling and strictly no extra features. Then you can literally sit back and watch as the AI types out the database architecture, builds the mobile-first front end, and connects the whole shebang. If something looks wrong, you just chat with it. Say, hey, make that button simpler, and it does. You can basically build a functional app in 10 minutes, no coding required. Finally, let's talk about the end game. Step 5, scale with AI agents. This timeline right here, this maps out your exact growth strategy. From 0 to 100 grand, you're scrappy. You are doing everything yourself, but you're using AI to make yourself exceptionally fast. Then, from $100K to $1 million, you start replacing your manual processes, things like customer onboarding, support, financials, with AI automations. And from 1 million to 10 million, that's when you are completely out of the daily operations. You are stacking sophisticated AI agents that actually talk to each other, and you're only looping yourself in for the highest level strategic decisions.
Now, if you're thinking this sounds like sci-fi, it's not. This isn't just theory. Martell Ventures actually just launched an AI company that hit $83,000 in monthly recurring revenue with just one founder and 2 part-timers. That entire business runs on workflows and AI agents. The founder literally spends his time doing exactly 2 things: strategy and sales. Everything else, fulfillment, data processing, customer support, it all happens completely automatically in the background. Massive leverage with minimal headcount is no longer a pipe dream, it is the new standard.
The days of bragging about having a massive headcount, those are officially over. The new ultimate flex in the business world is bragging about how much revenue you can generate with the absolute minimum number of people. You don't need an army anymore. You just need a system, some AI tools, and the guts to do things differently. You now have the zero-code playbook. So I'll leave you with this. Look around your industry. Find that agonizing painkiller bottleneck, and ask yourself, when AI can solve any problem, the real problem is knowing what problem to solve. So what's yours?